Hello friends, my name is Raza Masood. Today we will discuss about a topic project scope. Friend, we will discuss this topic in terms of PMI or project management body of knowledge PMBOK. So we will see that what is project scope and what is the purpose of project scope, why we need to use the project scope, and what is the importance of project scope in our life. Friend, we will discuss this topic in detail with respect to the concept of project management and the purpose of making this video, as I tell you that it's very simple. I want to make the video so that the students who are studying the project management in universities, so they can use this video as a reference, and they can understand the concept of project scope. They can use this video to help to get the help to solve the questions, because friend, project scope is a very important concept in project management. If you are a student and going to give an exam related to project management or PMP exam, you must see at least 10 to 15 questions related to project scope. I'm referring to PMP exam. You must see at least 10 to 15 questions that which are directly related to project scope, in which your concept related to scope will be checked directly or indirectly. And if you are a project manager and working as a professional in any organization, you must need the concept, you must need the understanding of project scope, because it is a must have requirement to understand the concept of scoping and what is scope in a project. So let's start. First of all, I would request to please subscribe to my channel and click on the bell option as well, so that my new videos can reach to you. So let's start. Project, scope, these are two terms: project, scope. So first of all, see what is a scope, what is a project. Before going into the deep to the topic, first of all try to understand what is a project. Friend, according to the PMBOK guide, a project is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service or result. Temporary endeavor means that it's temporary, its time period is fixed. For example, if you are making a e-commerce solution for a company, so for example, if you are saying that within 3 months you will deliver, so it's a temporary activity. That means that, for example, in the month 3 months it will be finished. You have to finish it in 3 months. After 3 months it will be finished, because the objective defined for the project you have achieved. So so it will be end in within 3 months. And I'm just giving you an example that temporary means that it's temporary, it will finish after few months. Then next is the it will create a unique product, service or result. That means the project produces a deliverable which are undertaken to produce a particular output, which can be tangible or intangible. Are you getting my point? Let me give you an example. E-commerce solution you are producing for a company, and it's a project. Why it's a project? Because one thing, it is a temporary means that it has some particular time period in which we have to deliver the project. For example, 3 months you have time period, you have to deliver within 3 months. So first of all, a project is a temporary. Then next is it will create a unique product or service or result. That means that it will for example, you are producing the product e-commerce solution, so it's unique means that you are producing it first time. It has some objectives that it will, for example, it will increase the customer base, it will increase the revenue for anything. So project means that it's temporary, like it has some starting point and ending point, it has some end point. And the next point is that it creates a unique service or product, it has some result. Are you with me? Are you following me? Project means that it has some end point, and it produce some unique product, service or result. For example, you are making a flyover at some place. It's also a project. Why? Because it has some time period, like at some time it will end, and it will create some unique service or product or result. Similarly, you are producing a new procedure, operational procedure in your company that follow this will be the procedure for the application, for example. So it's also a project. Why? Because you are producing it for some time, it will end at somewhere, and it will create some unique service or product. Okay, are you with me? Now coming towards the topic of main topic, project scope. Friend, project scope statement explains the expected result along with the constraints and assumptions. This helps in achieving the product scope. Project scope is also known as a scope statement or a statement of work. In simple way, friend, scope means that what is required, what needs to be done, what customer want. Okay, so that means the scope. Basically, scope defines the boundary of a work. uh, Similarly, for say same example, the e-commerce solution, if customer want a e-commerce solution, so what is the scope here? Let me give you a very simple example. For example, customer want that user can do the payment through debit card, user can do the payment through credit card. The products should be available in the catalog. User can add a product in shopping cart. User can register on the website. User can add a product in wish list. So I'm just giving you very simple examples of the scope of a e-commerce solution, what customer want. So the purpose of scoping means that we are documenting the requirements of customer so that we can make a boundary of a scope. Are you getting my point? Why scoping is important? Because we want to make a boundary. We want to lock down the requirements of customer. For example, customer says at the earlier stage and at the time of scoping that he needs 10 requirements. So we make a scope document, get the scope document signed from the customer, and then start the development. First of all, when the scoping is done, we have the clear understanding what needs to be done, what is required for the scoping. And at a later stage, if customer says that we need one more module, one more requirement, so we can say that it's a change request, because at an earlier stage you don't tell us that it's a requirement. So now, as per the scope document, as per the signed scope document for project, we have to deliver 10 requirements. If you ask one more requirement, so we will consider it as a change request, as a new requirement, because this requirement is not mentioned in the signed scope document, so now it's a change request. So are you following me? Why we need to make a project scope? Because we want to make a boundary against the requirements of the customer. We want to lock down the requirements of customer, because if we don't lock down the requirements, if we don't make a boundary against the requirements, what will happen, that we started the work, and after some time more requirements came, and it will be a never ending story to our. So that's why the project scope is very important. And also, if you are given a project to construct a bridge, for example, the project scope will provide insight into how to build the bridge. It gives you all the required information. In this case, the project scope defines what exactly you need to construct the bridge. Same thing, that scope tells you that what needs to be done for a project, what is required. And very interesting point here, that scope also tells you that what don't need to be what doesn't required, what don't need to be implemented. Okay, so scope basically define what's in and what's out. Are you getting my point? For example, if there are 10 requirements agreed in the signed scope of document, so this normally we put out of a scope document, out of a scope portion as well in the scope document. That means that this is not our requirement, this is not our responsibility, this will not be a part of a scope. So try to understand. Scope also tells you that what is not required, what is not our responsibility, what is not part of a scope, what is outside the boundary of a scope. It also tells you that thing as well. So friend, project scope is very important concept, and I must say that you must understand the concept of scope, project scope, and this is very important to get the knowledge of project scope, that what does that mean. And in professional life, project scope is very important, because if you have the clear understanding of the scope, what needs to be done, uh, only then you can proceed, only then you can grow in your life and be a successful project manager. So friends, that's all from my side. I hope you like this video. I have tried my level best to explain the concept of project scope in a very simple and easy to understand manner. If you like, please share it with your friends and colleagues, and that's all from my side. Thank you.